attention till 7 o'clock. I'm starting this meeting. Have we got everybody here? No. But David's not here, so we do have everybody here. Good evening, Council. Hello, Kelly. Meadows Place City Council special session meeting. This is Tuesday, September 21st, 2021, and it is 6:02. Sorry I'm late. Call to order and announce the quorum is present. All of council here is here except David Mertens, who is traveling. Item number B, public hearing. We are going to, item number 1 under B is conduct a public hearing before the City Council, City of Meadows Place, to hear any and all persons to be heard concerning the 2021 tax year proposed property tax rate for the City of Meadows Place, which is 0.832 per hundred, which is the same as last year. I now call to order this public hearing of the 2021 tax year proposed property tax rate for the City of Meadows Place. Everyone desiring to speak at this hearing should sign in on the public comment cards and step up to be heard. The purpose of today's hearing is to give you all interested parties the right to appear to be heard regarding the city's proposed tax rate for the properties in the preceding tax. All right. Quit fighting over the line. I know it. They got to drive all the way across town. Anna Maria got it. Look, how long does it take you to get here? Average. No, never mind. That's a bad question. No, it's not. Never mind. Yeah. In case you didn't know, 71% of the roundabouts in Texas are single lane roundabouts. Megan, how are you? Thank you for being here. You don't like Thai food?
I like it. All doses.
That's up to you how much you order.
I like hamburgers better than I like Thai. I like a happy wife better than I like hamburgers.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe. That's a business opportunity. Hamburger Thai food. No, there's a place my son went this weekend.
About where the stores are.
For the husbands can get the
Barbecue something. Barbecue sushi. And they actually had some kind of Korean barbecue in a roll, sushi roll. My son said it was good. Okay.
Yeah. You don't barbecue sushi.
We live in Texas.
Yes, we do. I think there's a different name for that.
Yeah, it's called barbecue and a cucumber skin. All right.
That's true.
Yes, it is.
Best public hearing I know.
All right, it is 6:07. We're going to close this public hearing. And as I mentioned, we will be, the City Council will meet on Tuesday, September 28th, 2021, at 6:30 p.m. at the Meadows Place City Hall, Meadows Place, Texas, for the purpose of voting on the proposed tax rate. Okay, there being no one else desiring to speak, I now close this public hearing on the city's proposed tax rate. Moving on to item 2 under B, public hearings. Conduct a public hearing in the City Council of the City of Meadows Place, Texas, to hear any and all persons desiring to be heard concerning the City of Meadows Place municipal budget for fiscal year 2021-2022. I now call this public hearing to order on the City of Meadows Place proposed municipal budget for fiscal year 2021-22. Everyone desiring to speak at this hearing should sign in on the public comment card. The purpose of today's hearing is to give all interested parties the right to appear and to be heard concerning the City of Meadows Place proposed municipal budget for fiscal year 2021-22. Are y'all here to speak on the budget? No. I was just getting excited. All right, it is now 6:09. We're going to leave this one open 5 minutes in case those people got hung up in traffic. You can talk amongst yourselves, just not about the budget. Officer Mezgabi, how are you? Thank you for coming. Been a while. It's good to see you. You know, you're going to be a little bit. You're going to be a little bit. How many people showed up at the county commission public hearing? We're running right neck and neck with the county. How about that? What, the rate? No new tax, no new revenue, and I like that actually.
Doesn't roll off the tongue.
Took me 3 sessions to figure out what the heck an effective tax rate was. I guess Besner was satisfied last time. He might be. debris management companies that come out and pick up all the waste and debris. Is that the correct term, debris management? I mean, there's a term that I'm not getting a handle on. Right. Monitors everyone. Yeah, we've seen that. They got to wear them, make sure that they're, yeah. We do, but Sugarland doesn't. Yes. And they stood theirs up and had them go through.
Did they?
Yes, they did. And I was, what's the term? Is it debris management company or?
Yeah, I mean, the basically a debris contractor. I always knew it was the cleanup crew and then
Yep. No, I got that part. Hmm? 1 minute. We got all these engineers over here and people that care. And there we go. It is now 6:14. If no one else desired to speak, then I now close this public hearing on the City of Meadows Place proposed municipal budget for fiscal year 2021-22. And thank you all for coming. I don't understand. Y'all must be doing a good job, council. Item C moves on to the regular agenda. Discussion and report from the building official and resident regarding the structure located at 12047 Sturdivant, Meadows Place, Texas, which was deemed substandard by City Council on July 7th, 2021. Council, you have in your packet the Order 2021-01 declaring the being consistent with the Code of Ordinances, finds the structure contains nuisance condition that constitute a hazard to public safety, health, safety, and welfare, and they're likely to endanger persons and property. That's part of the listing there on page 1 of the order. Page 2 of the order is a list from A through L of items that need to be addressed, and the owner must allow entry to the building on August 20th, which they did. The debris and other hazards were to be removed by August 20th, 2021. As of yesterday, we had inspections from in front of the house, and we got a building official report, which, as I understand, was submitted back in January, February, March, April, May. Is that correct?
There was one
And then where's
from May 11th.
there's this one. Okay, this is the one from yesterday. I'm sorry. We got one from May 11th, which was quite detailed, completed, had all the photographs and everything you need. The one that came in from September 20th, and everybody's got it written right there. The chimney needs to be repaired, but it looks like they're working on it. The yard appears to be much better maintained. We're thrilled with that, but the landing still needs to be level, and we need to have a meeting with the owner. We need to make sure that the rest of it in the backyard, et cetera, is taken care of, as far as I understand it. Council, all I can say is that there was a lot of items there. There's still some that need to be addressed. We do have some decisions to be made. So, with this, any discussion in public portion of this meeting? Isaiah, would you or your sister like to speak at this time? We're going to go into executive session. We're going to haul this lady over here. She's our attorney, to talk about what our legal options are, what we can and cannot do. Make sure we're not crossing any lines or putting any undue pressures where they shouldn't be. But I want to give you this shot at talking to council. Do you want anything to say at this time or no? I'm sorry. You need to come step up here, state your name, address, and you can pull your mask down to make sure we can hear you.
Hey. Oh yeah, but the house got power washed yesterday. The whole house, actually, he did the whole thing. The chimney included. That's what made me think of it when you had spoke on the chimney. As far as the materials, I was going to say parts for some reason. I'm still stuck at school in my head. But as far as the materials for the house, we have them all. It's really just a matter of putting them up. And I've already coordinated with like friends and neighbors to help with that. Because since the last time we were here, I'm back in school now. So I go to college. And then when I get out of class at college, I normally go to work to, stay on top of paying the bills and everything for the house. So my time at the house before, I wasn't working or in school. So I was there to do more of it. Now I don't really have much time. But I do have family, my uncle, and then my neighbors, and also help from Ms. Mills with another associate, I believe, of hers, that he comes out. But all the materials are in the backyard, which is why when you had said the backyard, dang, I'm having a whole brain fog. I'm sorry, I'm tired. That's where they are now. So as far as the not the facial boards, the trim, we have the actual boards laying against the house in the backyard. The fascia boards that we had on the side for the back part of the house and like the corner piece, we have those. They're in the garage because they're the non-weather treated ones. They're not treated for weather yet, so they can't get wet. But we do have those in the garage. So those just have to go up also. Board side. Board. And then that's the other thing. I guess that's also considered the fascia, the bottom part where the trim goes. We have the boards for those too. So it's really just a matter of putting it all up. But as far as all the materials that are needed, we do have them at the residence as we speak.
So Isaiah, let me see if I got this right. You think you've got everything necessary to complete the repairs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Coulda, woulda, shoulda.
No, they're literally in the garage or in the backyard. All the boards, because Mr. Bradbury from Miss Mills got the boards that go for the facial parts, the siding of it, but he's been busy with work because I have logs or communication from my phone of him just saying he's just busy with work as to why he hasn't been back out to put it up yet. So we have those in the backyard. So that's why I was asking when you were saying about things in the backyard.
They're in the garage and in the backyard. Where are they supposed to be?
Say it again?
So where are they supposed to be?
On the house?
Yes.
Well, if I don't have anyone to help put it up, I can't put it up. So that's why I was saying having the materials is just really matter.
Who power washed your?
Brian Harvey.
Yeah. His dad redid all the siding on his house, all the fascia boards and all the trim all by himself. So maybe you could take a lesson from him on how to do that. Just a suggestion.
Well, not really. Like I said, I go to school every day from...
I got all that. And we're going to be discussing it in a second. Okay, that's why I wanted to make sure where we're at. You are confident that you got all the stuff.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. And I'm glad to hear that. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad to hear it. And you mentioned you're working part-time as well?
Working part-time? No, full
You
time.
working full time?
Full time.
Okay.
And going to school full time.
That's a load.
Yes, sir.
And right now, how do you stand on your water bill?
I owe $184, and I will be paying that on Friday when I get my paycheck.
Okay.
Because I paid $100 of it, I think, last. When was that? 'Cause I sent you an email confirmation.
Last Monday.
Last Monday.
Last Monday. There you go. So
So I think
yes,
That's 191
I think
now.
it's 191.
192.
and whatever. That can be paid on Friday too. It's just $7 to $8. Either way, I get paid this Friday, so I'll pay it on Friday.
Okay.
And then, yeah, I'm going to put also some more stuff up. Actually, I can have the trimming part done also by Friday. I can do that. Can't do it tomorrow because my son's birthday is tomorrow. He's turning 4. So,
That's a great age.
yes, full of life.
I'm gonna ask you for a date that and make it easy on yourself and make yourself comfortable. But that's what people are asking us, and we got to respond. And we just can't go, well, I don't know, whenever Lewis feels like it. That doesn't work, okay? And I don't know if you what kind of relationship you have with Lewis. I know Lewis, he does good stuff, and he's one of the most helpful people I've ever known.
That he is.
So you partnered up with somebody good, but I also know that Lewis is a pretty busy guy, and I don't know how good a calendar he keeps, okay, because he's in construction. You know, that goes awry, or all those things knock his calendar off. We got to come up with a date that you give us, so that we can take back and take into consideration when we go into executive session. So today is what, September 20th, 21st.
21st.
When do you think you could give us a date that you could live with, knowing you got to get Brian or Lewis or all of the above, or friends and neighbors, and you know that they're not the most reliable because they've all got their lives to lead too.
That is true.
And so, before we break out to executive session, Isaiah, we need to kind of have an idea of what you think you can do.
Being put on the spot is a stronghold of mine, but I'm not even going to sit here and waste time and lie, because I'm not just going to lie to the thing. I really don't.
What let's start with. Let's make it easy on yourself.
No, I'm saying as far as giving a date, because like I said, I have friends and family who have offered to help, but I can't honestly sit here and tell anyone in here and say, hey, we'll have it done by Tuesday or Friday, because I really don't know. Because like I said, I go to school, I'm in school 5 days a week, and I work 6. So Monday through Friday, I'm in class till about 4 o'clock, and then I go to work from 4 until midnight. So any work I literally have to do will be in the dark. And so having a schedule more of like that, 5-6 days a week, I know that my own contribution will become limited. So I really do not want to stand here and lie to you and say, hey, give us 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So I honestly do not know. I mean, I'm trying to get it done as soon as possible, because I know and I appreciate all of you for your patience. So I know it is something that has to be taken care of quickly opposed to timely, but to literally look you in the eye and say, hey, if you give me like 2 or 3 weeks, because I really don't know. But I mean, I know I can, I guess, step outside while I'll step in session. I can coordinate. I can ask some people about how soon maybe I can get help. And if I can get more help on certain days than other, I can give you progress. But I cannot stand here in front of you right now and give you a complete deadline.
What's going to happen is we may come back, we may not, but we may come back and give you a date. And if it's not in compliance by that date, the next day you're subject to getting a summons to court or a ticket. Okay? And then if it's not done the next day, you'll still be in violation. You'll be technically capable of getting another one. We typically don't work that way in Meadows Place, but just letting you know the significance of it. So if you can't come up with a date, then we will come up with a date, okay? That's why I'm trying to make it, asking you, make it easy on yourself. If you know you can't do it in 2 weeks, don't give me a 2-week date. And I would suggest, because we're getting ready to end this, and unless your sister wants to speak as well, but if not, we're going to take a break. We're going to go into executive session. If you can step out in the hall or step out in this back, or there's a really, is the back door open? Yeah, there's a real neat table under the trees out there. You can go sit down there and call folks and see what you can do to coordinate, okay? And tell them where you're at. And you'll have that for us when we come back. That'd probably be the best way to do that, okay?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I can step out and make
That's
some calls.
perfect.
That I'm
Okay.
fine with doing.
Start with that. Okay, so you know, your $191. We've got a date by that. You're going to pay that on Friday.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, good. It's a scam. I'm so sorry I didn't have that on or have that off. So with that, unless anybody else wants to discuss this, council, you got any comments, any questions at this point? Okay. Then we are going to move into item D, executive session. So get your phone calls going. Okay.
All right.
And let's move back to, how do I do this? I need a motion to go into executive session. We just go. We're recessing. That was the word I was looking for. Recessing into executive session. Everybody step into the conference room where we hold executive session sometimes. I don't know. Okay. We have council here is again. We are moving on to item F to reconvene the regular agenda. Item 2 is discussion and take appropriate action regarding the structure located at 11810 Dorrance Lane, Meadows Place, Texas, deemed substandard by council back in February. We have a court date scheduled for Monday, and we'll be moving forward on the lawsuit as discussed in the executive session. Item number 3, discussion, take appropriate action regarding the structure at 12047 Sturdivant Street, deemed substandard by City Council on July 7th. Council, we had quite a discussion. Thank you, legal counsel, for being there, giving us these number of options that we have. And I think, Rick, you have a motion regarding this.
Yes.
You want to promote?
Let me get that date again.
October 26th.
I move that we set an administrative hearing for October 26th to determine if the house has been brought up to code and the water bill current. The items that we want to see completed are the fascia boards and the soffit boards, so that the house is completely enclosed and not subject to animals getting inside. This will come up to $1,000 a day per violation if it is not fixed.
All right, so we have a motion for an administrative hearing on October 26th. Do I have a second?
Nobody wants to second it. Okay.
Okay, we're going to let it die? Okay, we do have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries unanimously.
Isaiah, you've made progress, but we don't want any more empty promises. You need to get it finished. And we've heard that at least one of your helpers is no longer going to be working on your house. So you need to get it scheduled and get it fixed.
Isaiah, there was a couple questions that came up. I was wondering if you could help me out just to clarify for me. Do you live at this address? Or who does live at the address? That'd be a better question. You do? Okay. Well, because we're sitting here trying to think of who to deal with. Okay? And
If you didn't live there, maybe we should be dealing with your sister instead.
okay, or I understand there's somebody else that lives there also. We just want to make sure we're dealing and making sure we're communicating with the people that we need to communicate with. And if you're not there all the time, we send some postage or something like that, and you're not there, it just it doesn't make it a good communication system, and we're just trying to make sure that everybody is plugged into the right people. Some people have said you're not there often. Others said that's why I asked the question.
I'm listening. Go ahead. I am listening. Go ahead.
No, you've answered my question.
Oh, no, I was just saying, just in case more questions were made. I mean, yes, I do stay there to answer. I mean, like I've said before, I mean, I'm either at school or I'm at work.
And are you living there as well? Yeah. Okay, good. All right. So there's somebody there in all the time. Good. Well, listen, you heard that we're going to have an administrative hearing on October 26th, which is significant. And so make sure you got that stuff cleared up and the water bill current, okay, on that date.
Yes, sir.
All right. And thanks. We're rooting for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you all.
All right. Now let's move on to item 4. And you guys wake those people up back there, will you? Presentation from USW Utility Group, HRM Environmental, regarding repairs to wastewater treatment plant. Rod, you want to come up and tell us what we're going to hear and tell us who we're going to hear it from first? Megan? We're off the clock. Hey, thank you so much. We appreciate it. All right.
Evening, Mayor and Council.
Thank you.
Tonight we're having a presentation based on the repairs at the wastewater treatment plant. Corey will lead us off. We have representatives from HRM Environmental and Ovivo. We will also be zooming in an individual from Salt Lake, who is part and parcel to this project. So, and with no more ado, I will let Corey take over.
Very good. Thank you, Rod. Good evening, Corey. Come up and introduce yourself into this.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. How's everyone doing this evening? It's good to see everyone's faces again for a change. It's been a long time. As many of you all know, we are the USW Utility Group is the operator for the City of Meadows Place. We've been the operator in the city now for 7 years, which we are very proud of, and we appreciate the opportunity to do business with you all. So let's get down to the facts. The facts are that the wastewater treatment facility is over 40 years old. It has equipment that's been operating for some time, and there's been lots and lots of maintenance done on this equipment, and it's to the point to where we really can't do any more maintenance on it. We've done everything that we could do to this point, and it's getting to the point to where we need to start looking at possible rehabilitation or replacement. The final effluent treatment cost is going up to try to keep up with the process to make sure that we're meeting our TCEQ requirements that's on the monthly DMR. Constant maintenance on the traveling bridge, which are the limit switches, the wheels, the cogs or drive units, the hydraulic system, sprayer sump pump. So far, since we've been here, within like the last 5 years, I think we spent well over $350,000 on maintenance for the traveling bridge, which is about a third of the cost of the rehabilitation cost of this traveling bridge. There's also safety concerns. Rotting troughs, when the guys are out there cleaning the clarifiers, that's an issue. There's a possibility that they can fall through the trough and possibly drown, get infected with some type of microorganism, and then we have some real dire issues that we will be dealing with. There's rotting weirs that are becoming safety hazards as they're rotting off. There's sharp edges that the guys can get hung up on and cut themselves while they're cleaning the clarifiers. Automated components are no longer working, which are the limit switches that automate the return system those no longer work, and those need to be replaced as well. So failure of the bridge leads to process control, complication, additional costs to the city for sludge removal and repairs. TCEQ can cite the city with the violation, which could eventually lead to enforcement, and that's something that we definitely want to keep the city out of. So we had a couple of contractors come out and take a look at the current clarification process for the city. Rage Construction came out and gave a cost for conventional circular above ground clarifier. That cost estimate come in somewhere around $1.5, $1.8 million, which is a substantial amount of money to rebuild and put in a new clarification process. So we met with Ovivo and HRM Environmental. They're sitting here in the back, in which they presented a rehabilitation opportunity with an estimated cost of about $800,000, which is substantially less, and the system keeps the current process the same. So it's really not a whole lot of difference in the way that the traveling bridge is currently constructed, just different moving pieces, more technology involved components, which will give the city more longevity with this new system. So with that being said, I'm going to let them take over. I know that they've been waiting for a long time to get plugged up and give their presentation. And if there's any questions, we'll answer the questions at the end of the presentation. Thank you.
Please introduce yourselves and speak into the mic where you can so that we can record it. And for all the folks that are at home, there's...
Sure. Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Brendan Kelly. I'm with HRM Environmental. So we are the local representative for Ovivo.
My name is Rudy Morrison, and I'm aftermarkets manager for Ovivo Austin Conventional Products. And we're the folks that actually built the equipment that you got on the wastewater treatment plant.
Tell me your name again.
Rudy, R-U-D-Y, last name is Morrison. If you'll give me just a second, I may need to help her get the right file started up. I'm going to be zooming in a colleague that's currently in Salt Lake City, where one of our main offices are, and because he is a subject matter expert on part of this system. This gentleman's name is John Vorwaller. Bear with me just a moment, please. Get connected to the internet. Yeah. Yeah. I'm good. We're working now. I'm dialing Mr. Vorwaller in right now. Hey, John. I'm going to get you connected to external speakers right quick. Yes.
Okay.
Can you say something, John?
Yes. How are you doing?
Let me turn the volume all the way up here. John, can you see the display screen?
Not yet.
Oh, let me see if let me get video started here, bud.
Okay.
Listen. At the background.
Okay, perfect.
All right, bud. All right, I'm gonna put on my part of this thing first. So if you want to go ahead and so generally, as an quick introduction, Ovivo is a company that is a conglomeration of a lot of old brands, EnviroQuip of Austin being one. EnviroQuip was the guys that actually built 99% of the equipment that's in your wastewater treatment plant back in the mid-'80s. And so, next slide. Traveling bridge clarifiers, we specialize in. We're one of the few companies that do. And so we're probably the foremost expert in traveling bridge collector mechanisms. Next slide, please. We're located in Austin. So we're right down the road, and we're very happy to come down and help Corey out anytime he needs us. Generally speaking, here's a picture of your traveling bridge clarifier, and the basins themselves and the bridge superstructure, to be their age, are in excellent shape, in very good shape. Next slide. We do obviously have a few problems with it, being that it's so old. Next slide. The wheels are worn out. This is primarily due to the bridge not being aligned, and so it'll try to go down the rails sideways, and that takes its toll on the wheels. If you look on the left-hand side, that's one of your wheels. The photo on the right is a new end truck for a traveling bridge that we rehabbed recently down in Corpus. And so our intent is to replace the end trucks on both the bridges and modernize that equipment to where you've got the latest and greatest. Next slide.
He's going to go into that?
Sure, absolutely. I'll go into as much detail as you guys want me to. Let's back up one slide, please. Yeah, I think it's going to be the third from the bottom or top. There, thank you. All right. So if currently your bridge has four-wheel hydraulic drive, there are four hydraulic motors, one for each wheel. Typically what happens when all four motors are brand spanking new, they're all turning at the same speed. As they wear, they start turning at different speeds, especially if one motor goes out and it gets replaced, then all of a sudden it's brand new, whereas the other three are older, and that bridge is, the wheels are turning at different speeds, and this causes the bridge to try to get sideways on the rails. And so you get popping and all kinds of noise, and it wears the wheels out in very short order. It also wears on the rails. That's the primary cause for the wheel wear. Next slide.
To correct.
So what we're intending to do is to replace the four-wheel hydraulics with a line shaft, cog-driven, modern drive, such that both ends of the end trucks, both ends of the bridge cannot help but go down the rail at the same speed. And so hence you're driving a line shaft that drives the cog wheels from one motor right in the middle of the bridge. All right. So here's the left-hand photo. There is, you can see the spalling and the sharp edge of the rail, where the flange of the wheel has been rubbing up against it real hard. The photo on the right is a photo of some new rail that's been installed. So, I guess next slide. Also, what we would like to do is modernize the power distribution to the bridge to where how we actually get power to the bridge. Currently, the photo on the left is of a festoon system that I don't believe this is exactly your plant, but you have something very similar. It's very prone to wind damage, to UV damage, and it's prone to just elemental damage or damage from the elements. How we would like to intend to fix that is to supply a new power distribution shown on the right, which is what we call a power bar system, but it's got a little car that runs inside that orange track. And so all of it is maintained. It's UV resistant, and it's also inside such that the elements can't get to it. If I've seen these things where the wind will blow, they'll get tangled up, the bridge will start moving, it'll tear the wire. You've got either blown breakers, or it can be electrocution hazard if the sun eats through the jacket on the festoon cable. So this is just a much more modern way of doing it and more reliable. Next slide. Controls. The photo on the left is actually one of the bridges that you guys have. It's antiquated controls that have been worked on by I don't know who, and hence they're not dependable. They're essentially worn out. They're past their lifetime expectancy, and so what we would do is to replace the control panel completely with new modern stuff, including programmable logic controllers, PLCs. Yeah, I know. We've also got surge protection, and lost my train of thought here. It's been a long day. Yeah. I'm sorry. Modern controls. Yeah. Yep. Next slide. And what? Yeah. Dirty power protection. Absolutely. And VFDs for the motors. All the motors on this bridge will be variable speed AC. The photo on the left is a representative of the types of limit switches that your bridge has now, which, as Rod told me earlier, this was the cat's meow back in 1988. It's no longer. The proximity switches on the right are much less prone to getting moisture in them, just solid state. They're a lot more dependable. And next slide. And so this slide right here shows you a photo of part of your effluent trough, and as opposed to what we intend to do to replace your effluent launders on the plant. And so at this point, I'm gonna give it to Mr. Vorwaller. John, are you ready?
Yes, I am. So the presentation that I have, I don't want to scare you. I usually go an hour, but today I did it in 20 minutes. I can go through these slides very fast, but just to get everyone kind of get their clarifier juices going, and this has worked in an open environment like this. If you want to yell out the answer, if not, I'll wait a little bit and then I'll tell you the answer. But I'm going to do a little bit of quizzes, and the questions are really not that hard. But today I'm going to talk about the submerged effluent launder. And go to the next slide. So are clarifiers maintenance free? No. The answer is no. Where is the maintenance usually occurring? Let's go to the next slide. Next slide. And one more click. There we go. It's in the effluent launder. If you want to pause this video just for a second, about right now. It's in the lower left-hand corner. If you can't pause it, that's fine. What are your observations here? What do you see on the surface? What do you see in the V-notches of the weir? Algae. Lots of algae on the launder wall, lots of algae in the V-notches. And if you look closely, effluent flow is only going over maybe, I'd say, less than 50% of those V-notches. Now, when you have unequal flow distribution like that, that actually increases the velocity through those V-notches, and you get a higher effluent suspended solids, which is a poorer effluent quality. Also, if you look on the surface, stop it right there, in between the scum baffle and the weir, you can see floatables. You can see duckweed. On the other side of the scum baffle, you can see scum. Now, scum rises to the surface, and your skimmer works to the scum baffle, but what about the space in between the scum baffle and the weir? This is where you can get scum infiltration, which also contributes to your effluent. When you have a peak flow in an overflow weir V-notch, the change in water elevation is probably about a half an inch, maybe 3/4. When that raises and the velocity through that V-notch increases, you are going to dislodge some of that algae. Let's go to the next slide. So what are some of the downstream implications? You can, if you just hit the arrow again a couple times, you have algae, you have filters fouling. Go again. And you have fouling of the UV filters. When you foul UV filters, it increases your power consumption, and you probably don't disinfect as well. And the amount of maintenance and time it takes to pull out those racks, they're heavy and they're fragile. Let's go to the next slide. Clarifiers on average, 2 to 4 hours of cleaning algae in the launders per clarifier per week. That's tens of thousands of dollars in maintenance costs. Next slide. Here's an alternative. You can have weir brushes. You see that there's a lot of joints, a lot of moving parts. The brushes, they get set after a while and they don't apply pressure, so they don't clean. So you're constantly adjusting this. Next slide. It can lead to damage. Next slide. Safety concerns. New Braunfels plant here in Texas. Their biggest concern or driver with going with the SEL and eliminating cleaning algae is safety concerns. You see these V-notches, they're pretty pointy. You get in the launder with algae, it's slippery. They call these shark bites. Well, they also spend a lot of time with sharks at ocean. That's my only joke for tonight, so you can get it out and laugh now if you'd like. Next slide. Also, they have 8 operators and 5 plants. Do the down arrow again, I guess, to get to that. And they are spread thin, and instead of operating, they should be maintaining their plants. Next slide. Perfect. So now that we've discussed these pain points, let's talk about nomenclature and what systems are out there. Next slide. Nomenclatures, you got inboard to the left, which is off the tank wall. You've got a concrete internal launder, or you've got an external. Next slide. So, inboard launders, internal and external. What do you do to overcome algae? Next down arrow. You put on launder covers. It's proven technology. It reduces algae. Next is you put on density current baffles. Plenty of studies are out there that reduce effluent TSS. There's a study, and it shows to the left, go to the next slide. Oh, let's see, Yeah, next slide. One more. Keep going. Down arrow. Boy, something must have. Oh, here, keep going. It seems to be stuck. Go down arrow. Oh, maybe, I'm sorry. I didn't see. Go back up to that one that had the. I see. I can't see the studies to the left, but to the left, you'll see the current under the liquid level of a clarifier. See how the sludge blanket, the flow goes along the sludge blanket, up the wall, and then into the double-sided weir, the inboard launder. Well, the study, they went ahead and put a density current baffle, and you can see it redirects the flow inwardly so that the effluent TSS is able to resettle. And if you go to the next slide, you have two graphs there, before and after. If you want to click a couple times, the before is without density current baffles, and after is with. You went from 40 milligrams per liter effluent to 10. So a better effluent quality. So we know that let's go to the next slide, we know that launder covers and density current baffles work, but some of the disadvantages of inboard launders: limited access, large support structures, no launder cover. You can click through these bullet points: density current problems and effluent quality. So now let's go over a little bit more nomenclature, a couple more clicks. There we go. Number 1 is the effluent launder. Number 2 is the weir. 3 scum baffle. 4 density current baffle. 5 launder cover. Now, the first 3, if you click, they'll get highlighted. Effluent launder, weir, and scum baffle, they're in every plant. And I haven't done a survey, but most plants do not have density current baffles, probably less than 50%, and less than 20% have launder covers. And I can only imagine it's probably due to cost. And usually the engineer will say, hey, if you really have a problem, let's get those later, because it's something that you can add fairly easy down the road. So that's a lot of components. So what did Ovivo do? Let's couple more clicks there. We decided to grow up, just kidding. Instead of drawing scribbly lines, we said, let's draw a straight line. Let's simplify this design. And we basically said, what if we can come up with a design where it's easier to install and it has algae eliminating properties, and also it provides better effluent quality. This is our submerged effluent launder. It was patented March 20, 2018, and you can see that it has one upper panel and one lower. So you have the dark purple, which is the upper panel, and you can see orifices that are submerged. The liquid level is up on that straight edge of the purple, and the lower panel is the horizontal panel. So let's go and talk about this a little bit. Next slide. So it's one component serving 5 functions. You can click through the first 5 there and bullet points, and 1 serves as the effluent launder. So the triangular space serves as the launder, and it's submerged now. The weir is the orifices. The scum baffle now goes up against the tank wall, and now you can see the scum baffle. There's no space between that and the weir, and there's no overflow weir. And launder cover we'll discuss a little bit later. So how does that
affect the volume?
The orifices are about 18 inches below water.
Ask him how that affects the volume or water flow.
Oh, keep going, sorry.
Yeah, so we say you have a volume of water in your trough. How does that relate back to what's in the submerged launder? I mean, is it the same volume, same flow?
Yes, same flow, and
the section is designed for that flow.
And it's now a conduit flow. It's like a pipe flow because it's underwater. So it's fully submerged and it's a full pipe. And we size the exit velocity of that flow in that launder at 4 feet per second, which is very typical for rectangular launders. So it's a very similar sizing, and it transports the same amount of flow. So we can go to the next slide. How does it prevent algae? UV light, after about a meter, it absorbs 45%. For algae, you need light, nitrogen, and phosphorus. Once that water enters that triangular launder, it's enclosed. There is no more light exposure. So there's no more potential algae growth inside that launder. Now, we do have water and nutrients, just like a rectangular launder, so there's no advantage there. But also, the surface of FRP has a smaller pore size than steel. You can click through, there's 3 bullet points there, or 4, and then also time. We did add a sweeper to our design. It's very simple. We can show that later on in the presentation, so that if algae or solids gather up on the surface, it's swept away. So how does a SEL work hydraulically? If you're familiar with suction duct clarifiers, you have varying size orifices to get varying flows. So go to the next slide and click one more time. You'll see some arrows pointing out to the orifices, and then one more time. You'll see that the flow is the same pattern as a rectangular launder. This is the effluent box where you see a slide gate, and then 180 degrees from there is where the flow starts, and then it comes around just like a rectangular launder, and the flow increases as it gets towards the exit up to 4 feet per second up to peak flow. Now, as that water travels in that conduit, the speed increases. And as that speed increases, if you ever felt a big bus drive right by you, I mean, it just has a strong force of wind. Well, in this case, it's like a vacuum. It has a pressure drop. So the orifice size, we wind up decreasing as we get closer to the launder, because the flow, the path of least resistance is to go out this effluent box. So we want to kind of restrict the flow on that side and make the flow a lot easier to go to 180 degrees. Now let's go to the next slide, and I'll show you, here, just how we control it. We actually have 3 forms of control, but the number one that we're doing right now is an actuated slide gate with level transmitters. So as the level goes up, it will cause the actuator to open the slide gate and bring it back down. And if the water level goes down, the gate closes. The slide gate controls the liquid level within plus or minus 0.25 inches. So that's a total of 0.5 inches. It's very similar to an overflow weir. We also have a mechanical design, but the liquid level increases more. And we can discuss that further on down the road if that's something that can work in the system. So what are the benefits? Go to the next slide. To the left, you'll see our WEFTEC display. You see the rubber grommets? We decided to color code these and also change the inner diameter. And that's how we change the inner diameter. The red, let's say that's the 180 degrees from the effluent box. You can see the inner diameter is a lot larger. And the purple would be over by the control gate, much smaller. Now, the reason why we did that is so that the manufacturer can just bore a 3-inch hole, and we put in a grommet that has a 3-inch outer diameter, and then the inner diameter decreases. It's 2.75 inches down to 1.5 inches. Also, a contractor will have a grommet layout, and they'll just put in the color codes as it is on the chart, and then our servicemen can come out. They don't have to get in the tank and measure the inner diameter. If they were all black, they would have no idea. And it's very hard to see any kind of numbering system on a black grommet. So this is our first installation at Sykes Creek, Florida. Our clients at New Braunfels, they actually came down to this plant. They got on this walkway when it was running, and we sat there probably for 30 minutes speechless. And we all looked at each other like, why are we looking at this? And Orlando, the superintendent, he's like, because I've never seen a clarifier with everything under the water. It's kind of cool. So next slide. This, you can turn down the music if it's, just go to the lower right-hand corner and click the sound and just mute it. And you can let it just go. But this was the installation. It took less than half the time of a traditional 5-component system. You can see that we had 3 people inside the tank with a 2 scaffolding system. And the way I compare it, it's almost like installing a density current baffle, because after they installed the first upper panel and the lower panel, they would move and go to the second scaffolding and put on the next upper, while 2 people would finish off, or no, 1 person was able to finish off the lower panel, because we put 2 jack screws underneath that you can get at Home Depot. You put 2 anchor bolts in, have those there, and they can finish off the rest of the anchor bolts. So we can probably just go, oh, also, I don't know if you noticed, we had a boom just to lift the slide gate. That's it. Everything else was dropped down manually. So we can go to the next slide there. So after it was installed, we did a peak flow test. And we did the SCL system, and that was about 934 GPD per square foot. The traditional clarifier, and it was the same video that I showed you, that algae lifted up in those V notches, and this was a test over 30 minutes, and we did 20 milligram per liter. The SCL clarifier had 1.7 milligram per liter. So potentially, it might be a more forgiving system. Well, how? Let's go to the next slide. We did some CFD analysis, and I am going to really skim over this, but I'll just tell you right now, red is really high velocities, which is not good, and blue is really good velocities, low velocity. You want low velocities in a clarifier. So keep clicking, and you'll see inboard launder pop up, then SCL launder, and then you have the scale of red is high, yellow's high, green is low, and blue is low. And the SCL launder, when you pop up, it says more blue in the upper left-hand corner there. This SCL launder is the same flow as the inboard launder on the top there. You can see that there's green, and green is a higher velocity. And then in the lower left-hand corner, that's max flow, or max month. And you can see that there's less green if you click that to get less green. And then the third one, peak flow, is the less yellow. So if you have lower velocities and the same distance, that car is going to get there slower, right? And it has to travel to the tank wall, just like we saw the current pattern, how it goes along the blanket to the tank wall and up. Same thing here, longer distance, slower velocity, more time to settle, and better effluent. Next slide. So we did a top view, and we see that the arrows are kind of going in the same direction. You have the inboard on the left, keep clicking, SCL launder on the right, keep clicking, and the velocity pattern seems similar. Let's go to the next one. It shows, there we go. When it started up, in the lower left corner, you can see the EDI scoop. In the upper right corner, you can see the scum baffle ports. In between is the annular space. And I saw this pattern. It looks like a tree stump. And I thought, wow, that's kind of a swirl-looking pattern. And so let's go to the next slide. On my road trip back home on the plane, I have done a lot of different CFD analysis and have reviewed a lot. And I drew these 4 drawings. And the one to the left is just a column with a feed well. I didn't show a feed well with no EDI. You would see a CFD with 4 distinct, very red velocities. And that's not using the whole volumetric basin. Then to the right, you put an EDI in between the column and the feed well. And look what happens. That EDI port, it sends a tangential or a 30-degree angle, and that hypotenuse is a longer path. Now, to the left, or to the left bottom, I thought with that swirl pattern, you might be getting a boomerang pattern. And keep clicking till you get some more CFD. So if you have more swirl, possibly, longer particle path, keep clicking, more time to settle, and better effluent. Let's go to the next slide. So now, just wanted to talk about one more potential benefit here. At Sykes Creek, you saw that launder. That was actually an FRP launder. We took it off the wall on the left, and we took off the weir and the scum baffle. And if you put that scum baffle up against the wall, you now have increased your surface diameter by 3 feet, because each launder was 1.5 feet times 2 is 3 feet. You've increased your surface area by 8.6%. You can increase your hydraulic loading. Also, I talked earlier at the first video that scum infiltration coming up between the scum baffle and the weir. Well, if you put the scum baffle up against the wall, there's no place for it to go. You sweep it right up. So you got 100% full radius skimming. Next slide. Advantages and benefits. All launder components are underwater, high winds. Dr. Stenstrom, one of the top 5, maybe top 10 engineers in the wastewater industry. He's a professor at UCLA. He did a study for one of the LA treatment plants. They were rectangular clarifiers, and during high wind events, they would get 30 to 50 milligram per liter of effluent TSS, and they confirmed it with CFD that because of the high winds and the unequal flow distribution, which I talked about earlier, they got poorer effluent quality. Also, we were in Florida and we installed this 2 months after Hurricane Michael. They said, hey, no launder cover projectiles. I'm sure if it can blow off a roof, it can blow off a launder cover. Ice buildup, not a problem. Not really a problem in Houston, but it's one of the other benefits. And then minimizing UV degradation because it's all underwater. So next slide. Time to improve, and we're real close to finishing here. We saw about a week or 2 weeks after startup, effluent TSS was hovering over the upper launder. And you can see the orifice there. It's an orange or peach. It had about a foot radius of influence where it was pulling the effluent TSS. And we thought, well, let's measure the TSS now and see if it worsens. I mean, is this really not good? And you can see from the results that it was still lower for the SEL clarifier. This SEL clarifier has been operating for 3 years now. The operator, we can arrange for you to call him also. He has not had to touch them once in terms of maintenance, in terms of cleaning. And their effluent quality, I can show you more data points, continued to be better than the traditional clarifiers. So we thought, hey, why don't we make this a little bit better system? And we came up with the sweeper. And we make this out of aluminum, so it's lightweight. It has 2 rows of neoprene. They're staggered. It's like a car wash method. And we have spring stainless at the last 18 inches where it makes contact with the vertical plate of the upper panel. And, I mean, no circular tank is concentric. So that's why we did that, to make sure that it was clean effectively. But also we viewed it as like a rake arm on the floor of a clarifier, that it can move those solids that aren't going in the orifice and get them to go back inwardly and resettle. And maybe that's why the effluent quality is consistently better as well. Click it one more time, and then one more time, and one more time. And we see just kind of more of an up-close view. You can see the bend in the spring stainless. Spring stainless I think you can bend it a million times and it will finally maybe show some yield to the material, but it will go right back to its original position. Not like a plastic comb that after a while it starts losing its form. Next slide. This actually is now going underneath the scum box. And this won't be in the case of a traveling bridge clarifier because you have it at the end, so we can just keep going. But we wanted to show that we kept innovating through the process to make it better. So now the last slide is the ultimate clarifier experience. We have ease of installation. Let's see if you can get the first photo to come up there. Oh, maybe we went too far there. Go back up until we see the concrete. There we go. Sorry, concrete tank there. To put in a concrete launder, it's probably at least 2 weeks just to put the forms together. And then it's another 2 weeks to pour and to have it cure. And that doesn't take into account incremental wet weather, which would slow that process down. 1/3 the sections, half the anchors and fasteners, 50% reduced installation costs, equal or lower velocities, just keep on going through those bullet points, yeah. Longer particle paths. Now stop right there on the better effluent. You can see they took data, the operators at Sykes Creek all the way till September, and it continued to have lower effluent quality or better effluent quality. All components under the water, safe. You'll see the X with the guy there, and low maintenance. Yep, there we go. Safe. Low maintenance. Full surface area skimming. More forgiving at peak flows. And solids can't overflow weir. And if the solids don't go in a hole, they don't contribute to the effluent quality. So, what did we do? Last slide. Increase safety, increase quality, faster installation, and lower total installed cost. The end. Well, it's a little bit more difficult when someone else is doing it, but hopefully you were able to get the major aspects, the overview of the submerged effluent launder and the benefits of having it with your system. Any questions?
Thank you, John.
Okay.
Council? I think they'd be mad if I asked them, so I'll just be quiet. Rick, you got something?
Not on the presentation. I just want to know, what is the recommendation? Where are we going with this?
I think the summary is, recommendation is to swap from the hydraulic drive system you had. Sorry, I should have spotted that. It's essentially to upgrade from the hydraulic drive system that's on the existing clarifier. Upgrade that to a line shaft drive system. Makes it more reliable for travel, less maintenance cost, and also eliminate the troughs that are, I think Corey showed some pictures of that they're rotting out. That galvanized is gone, they're corroded, they're a safety hazard for cleaning. To eliminate those and replace that with the SEL system that you just heard about. That's the fundamental change that's been recommended, or upgrade to the equipment that's there.
So what I couldn't quite follow is, does that go within our current tank, or is that another tank? Okay, so it goes
in your existing tank.
Existing tankage.
So that you're not pouring any new concrete tank. It's an upgrade of the existing footprint that's at the plant for that basin.
Okay.
It takes all of the rusted ladders and V-notches out. Mm-hmm. Everybody who's visited the plant has observed everything that's rotting and rusting up there with all the algae. All of that goes away. It goes to the SEL system, and those ladders are under the surface of the water by 18 inches. And they won't rust. They're plastic. We've got the orifice to control the flow. The weir controls the level, so we've got constant pressure in there. I have operated probably 20 plus different plants in my lifetime or my work experience. There's not one plant that wouldn't benefit from this kind of improvement. The original thrust of this program was to correct the traveling bridge, and we've gone through changing the electric motors, changing the power bar, changing everything that's not wore out, all the limit switches and the controls. The secondary part is this lauder system that is below the surface, and they talk about the TSS. The TSS that we pass over the weir, that greatly affects our ability to supply water to the lake. And so when we have a high TSS, we have to shut the water supply off to the lake. With the numbers they're showing, it looks like we would be way down in the very bottom. And so it would be a great benefit to our water supply to the lake by reducing the TSS, and also helps with our permit. Not that we have much trouble with the operator and the size of the capacity. All around, I think we'll be saving money on the maintenance once we spend the money on a total rehab of anything and everything that's inside that chamber. The actual chamber stays the same, as they said earlier. It doesn't change the process. We're just bringing it up to a modern day technology. And I really like the
utilizing the existing bridge.
Yes, the superstructure. The superstructure, the truck motors, they'll all come off and be replaced with the electric drive, variable speed. It's all going the same speed. Now, what we didn't mention was every time that sensor passes, the bridge passes over the sensors, it's going to actuate the wasting mechanism. When it gets to the end of the track, it doesn't automatically check, and it checks, makes sure it's realigned when it gets to both ends. So every time that bridge moves from one end to the other, it's checking itself for alignment. It's the best deal we can possibly get.
Well, doesn't ours do that now when it hits the end?
No, not quite.
Oh, I thought it kind of adjusted.
It kind of crabs its way down the track, yeah.
If we go with the both of these upgrades, what's the life expectancy of them?
Sure. Typically, the design lifespan of this equipment is somewhere in the range of 20 to 25 years, which is essentially what your plant was designed for, 20 to 25 years. It's been running, pushing 40. So,
does that include the SEL system, that underground?
Yes.
I mean, underwater system. You think that's going to give you that same kind of life?
John, what's the
Yes.
projected lifespan of SEL? Yeah.
The fact that all the FRP components are underwater, it will extend the life even further than normal FRP applications. And because there's not as much algae around, like the fasteners, etc., that's not going to be corroding those fasteners and causing, these structures to finally fail. I mean, Brendan, we've been at plants in Texas. You might be able to refer to some of them, but I mean, those ladders also are falling in it, and a lot of it's fasteners just corroding. And
It's normally the air-water interface is where you see rust. Here, you don't have air-water interface. It's all under the water with the SELs.
It's 18 inches below the surface, so it really prevents the UV light from attacking anything else down there.
I just want to add one other thing. The city's moving forward with possible prototype and outlet irrigation system. This system would also allow you, looking at the numbers, levels of TSS, this system will also allow you to bypass faster. So that way you never have levels in the lake, and always have a full tank without having filtration system. You would actually be able to
Yes, sir.
Man, I just wasted that. Okay, so we have an opportunity now to move forward with an RFP, basically.
Could do is we could ask for a proposal that includes details and scope along with cost.
Along with cost, yeah.
And take a look at that.
I see us moving forward with requesting a professional services agreement with the engineers here, and that would delineate the scope of design and specifications of the rehabilitation, and we would want this to be including the bidding process and also the construction phase as part of it thereafter. The first section would be the professional services for the engineering and design and bidding.
Your thoughts on that?
That sounds appropriate.
So if council wants, and we're looking for nods here, we can ask them to go ahead and submit a full-on proposal to go through design, bid, and construction phase. We'll take a look at it. We'll have Corey take a look at it as well, get our comfort level with it, and then we can actually put it on an agenda when it's time. Go ahead and
The proposal will have to come back to council for their blessing and approval. And once they're engaged, what did you guys say, 6 months?
Yeah, that would be a good guess, taking everything into account.
Does that include design, bid, and construction, or is that just your design and bid?
just design, right?
Make it easy on yourself.
Okay. The one thing we've ordered a new set of wheels for the existing bridge. They were a 10-week lead time. We're 4 weeks into it. They last about a year with the current condition. So we would have to move fairly quickly on that. The problems that we're going to have is lead time on components. We can have as many as 10 to 16 weeks on certain components. So I've suggested that once we get the project is awarded, that we get the construction manager and get things ordered way in advance of what we're supposed to be doing. There should be no holdouts for delay in material, etc.
At this point, we're officially need to request whatever it is he said,
Professional services contract
with the
proposal.
design,
Bid.
build, and construction.
Yes. Yeah. That would be delineated what those costs would be. We would only pay for what was completed.
All right, well, council's happy with that. We're asking for it. When will we get it? How do we?
All right, we asked for it, and as soon as we
Well, I've already asked twice.
Okay. I think they have their direction there.
When would we expect that?
Gentlemen?
Front-end documents that the furnish, like front-end documents.
But our typical front-end contract documents.
Yes.
Requirements on that side, or Vivo can provide that specs and drawings and the design, and the city can combine those with their own front-end documents.
Rick, do you want to review the submittals?
2 months time. Sorry.
Or no?
I can. This is not my world.
Okay.
I mean, ultimately, and from what I understand, you guys are pretty familiar with the plan, although obviously if you need more access to it, you can come back out, take a look at what you need. But ultimately, what we're looking for is a proposal that goes ahead and breaks up your services in those 3 phases. Okay, so we go ahead and look at that design phase, bid phase, and construction phase. Anything you guys need from us, you can let us know. We don't have a standard bid package for you guys to look at, so this is really just a proposal from you guys to show us cost. What I would request from you guys, or hope you guys can give us, is some kind of an estimated cost of construction along with as a part of your proposal, so we know what we're working with. We need to be able to know what we can budget for this.
Have we asked anything that's causing you heartburn?
No.
Couple of months, we should be in the neighborhood of getting something back then.
Yes, sir.
30, 60 days? Okay. Okay.
Well, Rod knows that I've been waiting on this now for years, so I'm excited to see it. Don't blow it.
I think we've been out here looking at things for a number of years, so, yeah.
I think this is a very good plan because it's a complete rehabilitation of the traveling bridge. The bonuses, the loaders. The other bonus is we don't have to go back to the TCEQ and change our permit because we would have to have done that
Right.
with the clarifiers, and that's just, when you think about it, it makes you shiver a little bit.
And we're going to upgrade not only the drive system, but also the SCLs.
Anything and everything that is associated with that traveling bridge is going to be removed and upgraded. It is a complete rehabilitation. When we get it drained, we're going to inspect the teeter-totter. We're going to put new sweepers at least on the bottom and check all the bearings, etc.
Scrapers on the sludge collector.
Well, that'll all be included in the proposal, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Outstanding. With that, we're moving on to item G.
Excuse me. Thank you very much, Mayor and Council. Appreciate it.
You're welcome very much.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very, very much.
Thank you all, Council.
We appreciate it. Corey, could I visit you just 1 second?
Yes, sir.